every great story needs a dramatic beginning. Liverpool FC's is no exception. It all started with their biggest rivals, Everton. Back in the late 1800s, Everton played their home games at a ground called Anfield. The ground was owned by a local businessman named John Houlding. He was a very important man in the city, deeply involved in local politics and business. However, he and the Everton board started to disagree about money. The main issue was the rent for Anfield. Houlding wanted to increase the rent that Everton paid to use the stadium. The other board members felt the price he was asking was far too high. They believed he was trying to make too much profit from the club they all loved. This disagreement grew bigger and bigger over time, creating a serious split within the club's leadership. Eventually, the argument reached its breaking point. The Everton board decided they could no longer work with John Houlding. They made a massive decision to leave Anfield for good. They found a new piece of land just across Stanley Park and built a new home, which they named Goodison Park. This move left John Houlding in a very strange position. He now had a fantastic empty football stadium, but no team to play in it. Most people would have probably sold the ground, but Houlding was not most people. He had a different idea, a much bolder one. Instead of giving up, Houlding decided to start his very own football club. So, in 1892, he founded a brand new club. This club would become a giant of world football, a team famous across the globe. That team was Liverpool Football Club. It's quite incredible, isn't it? One of the fiercest rivalries in English football, the Merseyside Derby, was born because of a simple argument over rent. A disagreement between friends led to the creation of two legendary clubs, forever linked by their shared history. So, John Houlding had his new club, but he needed a name for it. His first choice might surprise you. He didn't immediately call it Liverpool FC. Instead, he wanted to keep the name Everton. He felt that since his new club was playing at Anfield, the original home, it had the right to the name. He officially registered his new team as Everton Football Club and Athletic Grounds Company Limited. He believed he was the true owner of the Everton identity, and he was ready to fight for it. It's a strange thought, isn't it? Two clubs called Everton. Naturally, the original Everton board, now settled at Goodison Park, were not happy about this at all. They strongly objected to Houlding's plan. They argued that they were the original club and the name belonged to them. The matter had to be settled by the football authorities of the day, including the Football Association. They had to decide which club had the legal right to be called Everton. It was a proper off-the-pitch battle before a ball had even been kicked by the new team. In the end, they made a final ruling. They decided that the club that had moved to Goodison Park would be the one to keep the name Everton. John Houlding was told he could not use the name for his new team at Anfield. This decision was a major setback for Houlding, but it forced him to think of a new identity for his club. With the name Everton no longer an option, Houlding chose something simple and powerful. He named his club after the great city it belonged to, Liverpool. And so, on March 15th, 1892, Liverpool Football Club was officially born. It's funny how things work out. A decision made by a committee over 130 years ago created one of the most famous names in sport. If things had gone differently, the famous chants of Liverpool at Anfield might never have existed. Instead, we might have had two Evertons playing just across the park from each other. Now that Liverpool FC had a name and a home, John Houlding needed players. He had a big problem. He had no team at all. He needed to build a full squad from scratch, and he needed to do it quickly. The first season was fast approaching. So where did he look for talent? He didn't look around England for his new stars. Instead, he turned his eyes north to Scotland. At the time, Scottish football was very strong. Its players were known for their skill, toughness, and professional attitude. Houlding decided to build his team with a Scottish heart. He hired a man named John McKenna as the club's manager. McKenna was from Ireland but had deep connections in Scottish football. He knew exactly where to find the best players. He travelled all over Scotland, recruiting a full squad of talented professionals. He signed players like Malcolm McVeigh, Hugh McQueen, Matt McQueen. In fact, the very first Liverpool lineup did not feature a single English player. It was a team made up entirely of Scots. This unique team quickly earned a brilliant nickname. Because so many surnames began with AC, the press and fans called them the team of all the Macs. It was a fitting name for a side that played with a distinct Scottish style, fast, physical, full of passion. The team instantly bonded, building a strong team spirit. They were pioneers, a new club and a new way to build a team. The team of all the Macs did not disappoint. They were an incredible success right from the start. They completely dominated their first season in the Lancashire League, winning the title with ease. The first ever goal for the club was scored by a Scotsman, Malcolm McVeigh. This Scottish foundation set the tone for Liverpool's future success. It proved that looking for talent in unexpected places could lead to amazing results, a lesson the club has followed many times since. When you think of Liverpool FC, you think of one colour: red. The famous all-red kit is known all over the world. It is a symbol of the club's passion, power and history. The players are called the Reds. The fans sing about their famous red shirts. But it wasn't always this way. In their very first seasons, Liverpool did not play in red at all. In fact, they wore the colours of their rivals, Everton. The original Liverpool kit was blue and white, very similar to Everton's shirts. When Everton left Anfield, they left behind a full set of blue and white kits. John Houlding was a practical man who did not like to waste money. He used the kits that were already there. Liverpool played in blue and white quartered shirts with dark blue shorts. It's a bizarre image for any modern fan to imagine. The change to red happened gradually. Around 1896, the club wanted its own identity. They moved away from the blue and white linked to Everton, so they changed their shirts to red. They chose the main colour from Liverpool City's official crest. For many years, the team wore red shirts with white shorts. That classic combo was worn by legends for decades, including Billy Liddell. The all-red kit we know today came later. Bill Shankly introduced the iconic all-red strip in 1964. He believed it would make his players look more powerful and intimidating, like giants, a psychological edge. He was right. The first time they wore all red was in Europe against Anderlecht at Anfield. And they won. From then on, all red became Liverpool's signature, a symbol of the fear and dominance Shankly's teams inspired. After winning the Lancashire League in their very first season, Liverpool FC were full of confidence. They believed they were good enough to play with the best teams in the country. They applied to join the National Football League for the 1893-94 season. The Football League was the top competition in England, and getting a place in it was a huge achievement. Liverpool's application, however, was rejected. The established clubs in the league voted against them. They did not think this new, unknown club from Merseyside deserved a spot. This rejection was a major disappointment for John Houlding and his ambitious club. However, Liverpool did not give up. Instead of accepting defeat, they used the rejection as motivation. They were given a chance to play in the newly created second division. This was their opportunity to prove all the doubters wrong. They had to fight their way to the top. Liverpool's first season in the Football League second division was nothing short of spectacular. The team of all the Macs was simply unstoppable. They went through the entire league season without losing a single match. They played 28 games. They won 22. They drew 6. It was a remarkable achievement for a club in its first year of league football. They finished as champions of the second division, earning the right to play a special test match for a place in the top division. Their opponent was Newton Heath, the team we know today as Manchester United. The test match was their final hurdle. It was a one-off game to decide their fate. Liverpool rose to the occasion and won the match 2-0, securing their promotion to the first division at the very first attempt. They had proven everyone wrong. The club that had been rejected just 1 year earlier was now in the top flight of English football. This incredible journey from rejection to promotion showed the spirit and determination that would define Liverpool FC for generations to come. It was a story of overcoming obstacles and proving your worth, a perfect start for a legendary club.